Do you remember the first spooky movie that changed your life? That one film that burrowed into your soul and never left? Because I do. Every single one of them. Every spooky queen has an origin story, and this is where my spooky lore started. I wouldn't be who I am today without these films, whether it was the magic of Halloween nostalgia, stories rooted in love, the beauty of misunderstood monsters, or the idea that it's okay to be different and hex the world with your magic. Each one of these movies gave me an escape as a child, and they still do to this day. Because isn't that the magic of filmmaking? No matter what's going on in the real world, for just a couple of hours you get to live inside a different reality, like this one filled with all the spooky vibes that you yearn for. Now, I've never shared this before, but my spooky love story started with Monster Squad. As a little girl, it was just spooky enough to startle me, but the moment that changed me forever was seeing Frankenstein interact with the little girl.
Come on, don't be chicken shit.
For the rest of my life, misunderstood monsters would own my heart. And don't get me started on how inspiring it was to see a group of kids face the darkness head on. That's why, never shared this either, but our community is called the Ghoulster Squad because of this movie. Because I see you all as my group, that we all stick together just like in the movie, and we come together from everything spooky cute to the seriously scary. And like most of you, my love for Halloween is also rooted in Hocus Pocus. I'm one of the lucky ones who grew up with the ultimate trick-or-treating experience, streets filled with kids in costumes and neighbors decking their houses in spooks and lanterns. Watching Hocus Pocus felt like stepping into my favorite night of the year anytime I wanted. And well, my brother, don't tell him I said this, he was definitely the Max to my Danny, except he was cooler. Every Halloween, he'd wake up early just to do elaborate makeup for me before school, and I was always the kid with the coolest costume, at elementary school at least. That changed as I got older and stubborn. And if you didn't know, I love singing, so watching Winifred command a room with magic and music, that was everything to me. I was literally starstruck. My annual Hocus Pocus rewatch isn't just about the witchy vibes, it's about reliving those childhood Halloween nights with my brother. And I wouldn't be the spooky girl I am today without my sister either. Every year, I bawl my eyes out watching Practical Magic because it reminds me of the magic of growing up near her. The older I get, the more this film teaches me. Sure, it has taught me to throw spilled salt over my shoulder, but it has also taught me how cruel the world can be to girls who don't fit the mold.
You'd think after 300 years they would come up with a better rhyme.
I felt that in my soul. That's why I live in spite of the stigmas that still exist against misunderstood spooky girls like us. Practical Magic has taught me that you don't have to fit in, you just have to own your magic, something that is hard to do. And while Practical Magic tried to teach me to never fall in love, there was one friendly ghost that made it impossible. I have one sentence for you.
Cat, can I keep you?
Spooky girls everywhere melted the day that line was spoken, and if you tell me that you didn't, you're a liar. Just saying. This movie was a perfectly spooky introduction to love, ghosts, and the afterlife. And while Casper is beloved, I still think it's underappreciated for what it really did for us. Let's be real, 99% of the reason I yearned for love before Mr. Spooks is because of this movie. And what is a spooky queen without her horror origin story? It's no secret that I have a love affair or obsession with Michael Myers, and it all started with Halloween 4 and 5 reruns on AMC. Most people fear Michael, but I grew up watching Jamie Lloyd face him fearlessly. That was all the spooky inspiration I needed to believe I could face anything in life. I didn't realize it then, but Halloween became one of the biggest inspirations in my life. Not just because of Michael, but because of what the franchise represents.
I enjoy scaring people a lot.
A movie made on a small budget, fueled by passion, that changed horror forever. Michael Myers has played such a pivotal role in my life, from being a kid obsessed with him to seeing him on the big screen with my husband with a franchise resurgence, to being invited to premieres as a creator. that was just like, what? How did we come this far? That's why when I wrote my first short film, The Night Father Came Home, I knew he had to be a part of it. Halloween didn't just introduce me to horror, it introduced me to filmmaking. If there's one thing I know for sure, it's that nothing makes me as happy as sitting in a movie theater and escaping the world for a couple of hours. At first, I set out to create a spooky oasis, a space where we could escape the real-life horrors and live in that same magic every day. But now, more than ever, I want to take it further. Whew, I'm gonna get through this, guys. I want to create that cinematic, spooky experience for the next generation of spooky girls. One day, I want someone to say, my movie was where their spooky lore started. That the way these movies made me feel is the way mine and Mr. Spooks' movies make them feel. So tell me, Ghoulsters, where did your spooky lore start? Let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to fangirl over it with you. And if you want to see where mine is headed next, be sure to hit subscribe because my next short film is coming later this year. The lore hasn't ended, we're just getting started. Until next time, sending you ghouls and kisses. Bye!